One of the big stories that came out yesterday was in regards to Colin Kaepernick. No, not that Colin Kaepernick's going to try to come back and play football 7 years removed from when he was already washed up in 2016 and his better days were behind him. But no, Colin Kaepernick is back in the news once again, and he's playing the race card. He is banging the race drum because, I guess maybe the Netflix series cooled off and maybe, I don't know, the apparel deal isn't really working out. So you got to get back in the news, right? So Colin Kaepernick actually did an interview with CBS Chicago, and he accuses his white adoptive parents of problematic upbringings and perpetuating racism. Now, if you don't know the backstory, Colin Kaepernick at a very, very early young age in life was adopted by two white parents. Colin Kaepernick, if you don't know this, is a former NFL quarterback in the NFL, and he is African American. So apparently, whatever didn't materialize with his biological parents, a white couple said, you know what, I'd like to adopt young Colin. But now Colin Kaepernick is coming out and saying, you know what, I love you and all this stuff, but you're kind of racist.
Wait. So the two lovely people who adopted I assume he's an African American, right?
That's correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure to get all my facts straight.
Right.
Those people are racist.
Right. Which
Gotcha.
is weird because I would think like if you're racist, you probably never would adopt
a
young black kid, right? I mean, that's just the way I would logically put this together. But, that doesn't sell. Claims of racism to the left, they always sell because they can't get enough of it, even though it's a major tune-out to a lot of their audience and a lot of the country. But let's take a listen. We've got some tape. Here's Colin Kaepernick, CBS News Chicago.
I love how you depict yourself in this book, not as some big shot hero.
Oh, he has a book, Nick.
Oh, well, I mean, who doesn't? Nick Kayal and Greg Stocker and Dawn Senslin, we're the only three without a book.
I know. Dawn, are we going to get on?
Dawn, can we get a book? Do you know any publishers?
I do.
Change the Game. It was released on March 2nd, in case anybody out there wants to buy it.
Change the Game.
Sorry.
Okay, so basically stop playing football and be a social justice warrior, which is fine. If that's your calling, by all means. But don't tell me that you're no longer welcome in the NFL because I don't buy that.
But as a shy, insecure high schooler like we all were, I'm speaking for you, but
absolutely.
Growing up, I think still am a pretty introverted person. I hope it's true to form, and that's just kind of how I navigate the world.
It's his true high school coming-of-age story, his journey embracing his blackness, despite resistance from many, including his white adoptive parents.
I know my parents love me, but there were still very problematic things that I went through. I think it was important to show that, no, this can happen in your own home, and how we move forward collectively while addressing the racism that is being perpetuated.
He took cues from his icon, basketball star Allen Iverson, who he said wore his blackness like a suit of armor. And teenage Kaepernick wanted cornrows to match. He's getting what roles, his mom asked?
Oh, your hair's not professional. Oh, you look like a little thug.
Your mom said that to you.
Yeah. And
you do.
Those become spaces where it's like, okay, how do I navigate this situation now? But it also is informed why I have my hair long today.
Oh, my God.
Wow. So he blasts his mom as being racist because she says you don't look professional. I mean, here's the thing.
And what mom hasn't said that?
Of course not.
My parents said that to me.
Right.
I had long hair, and they're like, you look like a young punk. Nobody's going to
Yes.
hire you. And I'll show you. I'll get in radio.
If my parents saw me today at 39, they would say I still look unprofessional.
Oh, my God.
And by the way, because I know we'll get these tweets about how Kaepernick's a great quarterback and he's being blackballed and he's an African American. Blah blah. Here's the thing. Let's just get this out of the way right away. The top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now, salary wise, Aaron Rodgers is number 1 at $50 million. He's white, but quarterbacks 2, 3, 4, and 5 are black. Russell Wilson, $49 million a year. Kyler Murray, $46 million. Deshaun Watson, $46 million. Patrick Mahomes, who just beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl, $45 million a year. Here's the thing. I have no problem if Colin Kaepernick felt a greater calling in life. If he felt like being a social justice warrior and standing up for an oppressed community from years and years and years ago, by all means, knock yourself out. But this other notion that Kaepernick was blackballed by the NFL is patently false. because he had the opportunity multiple times to get back in the league. And he had workouts that were scheduled. And all of a sudden, in the 23rd hour, he said, no, we're going to change the location of the workout. And he wanted to move it. And they said, well, you got to come here for the workout. We can't just move and pick up and move everything with 30 minutes to spare. So he blew that opportunity. He was also told, you've been out of the league for a few years. If you'd like to come in and work out and try to compete for a spot on the roster, we're open to that. But we're not just going to hand you a starting job when you've been out of the league for a few years. And his peak was 2012, 2013, 2014. If you look at Colin Kaepernick's numbers, in 2015 and 2016, teams and defenses had figured him out, and his stats started to drop and decline. And oh, by the way, they weren't winning games. And there was a coaching change and a front office change. So this whole thing that he was blackballed, I mean, he rubbed a lot of people wrong initially, especially not even just the knee. But I think the one that really set it over the top was the socks with the police officers dressed as pigs.
Yeah.
It was just such a bad look.
Yep.
I mean, be aware of your audience. But as far as the mom thing, like, she's giving you advice. Like, I mean, sometimes maybe
what a slap in the face
like,
to his
if
parents.
you want to argue the wording was a little off, you look like a little thug. Okay, but you know what? You can say that.
No.
I mean, white people are thugs too.
Yep. No,
I mean, those Antifa thugs are all white.
There's nothing that they said that was racist. It
No,
is
I agree.
ridiculous. And I don't know his adoptive parents, but anybody who adopts children,
yes,
is doing a great thing for somebody.
And
They're
by the way,
doing
if you ever adopt somebody of the opposite race or religion or nationality or anything, like, you can never go back and say that person hates people of that demographic.
Well, it's funny you say that because our own Rich Zioli here has two adoptive children who are mixed race, and it's always funny to me when a certain there used to be a sports talk radio host in this city.
Yeah, it's the same guy I don't like.
Yeah, who was unceremoniously fired.
He was kicked to the curb.
He was kicked to the curb. Who accused Rich Zioli of being racist?
Right.
And it's just like, you have no idea what you're talking about. He's the least racist. Like, he has two mixed race adoptive kids.
Right.
And it's just a fun narrative for you to say that he's racist.
Well, it's a convenient narrative.
Yep.
Because, like, when you see, this is what the left does. As soon as they try to hit you over the head with the racism tag, they feel like you've got no comeback for that. Oh, I'll just, you know what? We won't even exchange jabs. I'm just going to wamboozle you with the right cross with the racism attached to it, right?
That's a good one.
Because once you throw the racism hook, it's like you de-arm your opponent.
Yep.
Like, well, how do I recover from that if I can't prove it?
Yep.
Well, you can easily prove it.
I just
like, I've gotten those tweets too since I started doing this job. Like, Kayal, I never knew you were racist. I'm like, dude, I have as many black friends as I do white friends.
Yeah.
I mean, you can disagree politically with somebody and not be a racist.
Yeah, I just feel, and Don, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I feel like this is such a slap in the face to his adoptive parents.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, but his parents know him. He's a drama queen. And guess what, Colin Kaepernick? When you are a really talented team player on any sport, you don't have to talk about your hair, okay? Because why? You're performing and you're doing.
Yep.
But when you're a wine baby and you're not really that good and you didn't really make the cut, you're going to talk about everything but. Right?
Yep.
That's why he's talking about his hair. And by the way, if he wants to have the AI Allen Iverson braids, which I know who did AI's hair back in the day.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. And
you think they could do mine like that?
Well, you don't have...
Exactly.
Yeah, they'd have to glue it on
Go
you,
back
I
to
guess.
the Wayback Machine.
But if the truth is, when have you seen Kaepernick with the braids? If he really wants the braids, why doesn't he wear them ever?
He had
Think
him.
about
he
it.
had him for a stretch. It was weird. Like
I haven't seen him with braids for years.
Yeah, it's been like close to a decade. Like 2013 and 2014, he had him, and then as he kind of washed out of the NFL in 2016, he had already had the fro going, like he has now. So like he kind of had this kind of at least cosmetic transformation, and I honestly think he made this movement because he saw the writing on the wall for his career. Like, there was not going to be another big contract coming.
Yep.
Right, which is why he got the Nike deal. He's looking to to do endorsements. And that's why when all those coaches, think about it, they were bending over backwards.
Yeah.
In that, so he could try out. Who does that? Who gets that opportunity? And then at the last minute, oh no, we have to change it, this and that. Why do they have to do that? Because he knows he sucks.
Yeah.
He's not good enough.
And
you suck, dude.
And the pushback was really simple. It was, this guy is going to create more drama and locker room issues and media coverage than he's worth from a talent standpoint.